You feel like you're in this state of mind where nothing can make you feel any better.
It's a constant state of worry.
Something that can really conflict in your life and really limit what you can do in your life as well.
The world is turning around you and you can't do anything. You're not helping anything. You're just there and you're just suffering.
No one wants to be around
I would lose friends, I would hate my family, I would feel isolated from all of them.
I found that with depression, one of the most important things you could realize is that you're not alone. You're not the first to go through it. You're not going to be the last to go through it. And oftentimes it happens. You feel like you're alone and you feel like it's only you and you're in your bubble. And I wish I had someone at that time who could just pull me aside and, hey, it's going to be okay. It'll be okay. So I wish I knew that.
Sometimes in life where you fall down and you feel like you don't have the strength to get back up. You sort of put a mask on your face when you come to school and pretend that everything's okay when it's not, and you go home and lay in your bed when no one's looking at you and you don't have to impress anybody and you're yourself.
My first overdose was in 2003, December. I felt I had no future. I couldn't hold down work. I genuinely believed that the people around me, for all the hurt I was causing them, would be better off if I wasn't there.
Bipolar changed my personality by making me the person that I didn't ever want to be. I was very, very low. My self-confidence, self-esteem and self-worth went. I just felt very sort of isolated, and I felt like I couldn't talk to friends and family because I couldn't really express what was going on. I knew there was something wrong, but I couldn't put it into words how I felt.
When I was in hospital, physical restraint would happen quite regularly to me. I spent most of the 90s, which was my 20s, in and out of hospital with 5 really serious admissions. It was just an unimaginably fearful experience, and I felt quite scared, isolated, not many people to turn to.
Put myself into a dark place, into a dark corner, a corner that only had one way out. I thought about that way every single day for 10 years. And you shouldn't think like that. But I was alone in my own mind, even though I could never be alone. I have so many great friends, family, colleagues, teammates, that I just need to open up, and I didn't. And I can't try and help others if I can't even help myself.
We're addressing a real crisis. 1 in 4 people in any given year suffer from a mental health condition. The greatest cause of death amongst men under the age of 35 is suicide.
In Ireland alone, over 550 people died as a cause of depression. That's more than car accidents in Ireland. But yet, we are so aware of drive safe campaigns, of road safety awareness, that our government and governing bodies push onto us, and that's great. But we all need to start talking about depression, and we need to open up.
Let's say that you have a problem in your life and you want to give up now. Imagine if someone 10 years older who's gone through the exact same thing that you have actually got through it and came to you and said, you know what, I know how it feels. I've been there. I've been going through what you're going through now, but I'm still here.
Just gotta remember, hold on to that fundamental quality of faith. Have faith that on the other side of your pain is something good.
I started reading up a lot on yoga. I realized that there's more to this body. There is this mind-body connection. There is this connection to God.
When I started to practice yoga, it really came from the inside. There was a connection from the inside where there was a motivation to be better, to be more aware, to live on a higher level, to connect with people more authentically, because I was connecting on the inside. Because I was aware of what was happening inside of me, there was more motivation to lead my life externally, connecting on a higher level. That internal connection is really what transforms us, because we start to feel the importance of just shedding the layers that kind of just hold us back or cover up who we really are.
I've been going through a period of my life where I was just not really finding happiness, and I was a little bit off track. What I can look back now and I can see was depression. And so I joined this class, and I still remember when I came into the room, everybody's standing at the front of their yoga mats, and I had this really kind of sweaty, smelly rental yoga mat, and I stood up at the front of my mat, and the teacher called everyone to what he said was samastitihi. And then he made this really loud Om sound, and it really brought everyone into unity. And I remember my mind stopping and me feeling overwhelmed with this pure vibration. Far more than just about the body, there was something in my soul that answered yes.
Sandarshita Swadmasukhavabode Nishreyase Jangalikayamane Samsara Hala Halamoha Shantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankashakrasidarinam Sahasrashirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjali.
Once you experience that spark of who you are at your deepest level, you're a better person. You have more patience, more tolerance for yourself, and ultimately for your whole world. As soon as you realize that what makes you worthy is not any sense of achievement, that the only thing that makes you worthy is the purity of your soul, it sets you free. So yoga really is a path of freedom, a path to knowing God and to setting yourself free in the beautiful acts of surrender that is faith and grace every day of your practice. When you practice yoga, your world changes, one breath at a time. When you practice yoga, your heart softens so that you understand that the spiritual essence of who you are can never be shaken. No matter what happens, the faith and grace that is the essence of surrender guides you through every moment of your life.
Humans are not just their physical bodies, but surrounding and penetrating them are different energetic layers. We can call them energy bodies. That means there is an energy body. It is called the etheric body, which extends 5 to 10 centimeters beyond the physical body. This etheric body is like a blueprint.
Und dieser ätherische Körper ist wie eine Blaupause. Das heißt, all the organs
that we have in the physical body, we can also find in the etheric body. The ethereal body supplies the physical body with vital forces. Additionally, humans have as spirit soul essence an emotional expression, an emotional body, one can say, because it is also an energy field, which can be felt by people who have subtle perception.
Für Menschen, die feinstoffliche Wahrnehmung haben.
Meditation purifies the mind of its projection and allowing us to see things more clearly, gain deeper insight into the nature of reality and nature mind. And as you begin to see more clearly, you gain more control over your mind. Emotions are less disturbing, and you can understand them with more compassion, with more humor.
If we think about meditation, we think to gain something, but in reality we lose something. We lose fear, we lose darkness, anger, most of all ignorance. And then we can see and we can meet ourselves as we are, and we can see everything as it is.
Chinese practitioners were not the only, and may not have been the first, to identify energy pathways in the body.
We try to open your body first so that your energy can start flowing again.
According to traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, a vital energy called qi flows through the body along channels called meridians. Think of these channels as a sprinkling system for the body, bringing qi to vital organs and extremities in much the way hoses bring water to your garden. In the TCM model of health and disease, when qi flow is blocked, the stagnating qi causes illness. Acupuncture therapy unblocks the qi flow, strengthens or weakens the qi, think opening and closing the garden spigot, and directs it to areas of need.
Reiki is a Japanese healing method created by the Buddhist monk Mikao Usui, and is a hands-on healing technique where the practitioner will transfer universal energy through their palms and into another object. The word Reiki is made up by the word Rei for universal and Ki, also known as Chi, which is the life force of energy. Reiki therefore means universal life force energy, and is a universal energy that is all around us.
And when you're in recovery from mental health, you might spend a lot of time in hospitals or at home and quite isolated. So being part of the wider community and being out in a good environment seems to benefit people a lot. For me, it's a place where people can focus on their wellness and their recovery. And if you can help them get back into work or make people more, provide them with the skills to be more confident, I think that's really important.
In the morning people come and harvest together, and then we use that to cook in the kitchen, and usually we do a different recipe each week that people choose the week before, and then we have a joint lunch with the gardens. Participants get a more in tune and connect more to their food and where it comes from, as well as eating more seasonal produce and hopefully improving their diets.
A growing body of evidence suggests people who suffer from depression may benefit from changes in their diet. So it's important to understand how what you eat and what you don't eat can have a significant impact on your mood.
Nutrition matters. Poor nutrition is a significant and modifiable risk factor for the development of mental illness.
Best piece of advice I'd have to give would be just getting over that initial fear of coming out to people about your condition, because once you talk about it, it really does help.
That is really how I started my journey of recovery, was being able to tell my story in a place which was safe and where you could actually get down to sort of what I would call the nitty-gritty or the nuts and bolts of how you really felt.
There are lots of different kinds of talking therapies. Some talking therapies would fall under an umbrella term that's called psychodynamic psychotherapies, which typically people might think of Freud as an example of that. Those kinds of therapies tend to be focused more on the relationship we have with ourselves and with other people based on our earliest relationships with our caregivers.
Today's very much about evidence from experience, first-hand experience. There might be things that you totally go, oh yeah, that's totally me, that's how I see the world, but there'll also be things where you think, oh, I'm not so sure about that. And I guess I just wanted to open this in the spirit of there's no right experience and there's no wrong experience.
Other therapies include cognitive behaviour therapy, which is a very structured and focused therapy that looks at the relationship between our thoughts, feelings and behaviours, and very much focuses on problems we experience currently. So it doesn't really look at the past so much, although it might make links to this. Then there are also other kinds of talking therapies like counselling. Counselling is a kind of an open, supportive space that you might go to in order to talk about things that might have slightly different models attached to it, therapeutic models attached to it. But those are the three kind of main types of talking therapies.
Art therapy is really very much like it sounds. It's working with people therapeutically using art. So someone would come into the room and they'd make a piece of art, and we'd try and build up communication through their art. So it's a way of helping people to talk about things that is hard to put into words.
My name is Elet Gorbani. I'm a service user.
Hello Elet, come in.
I was referred by my psychiatrist for an episode of 6 to 9 months art therapy after I had psychosis. Personally, I thought I was beyond help, so I was consumed by a lot of thoughts that weren't based in reality.
The kind of people who would come to art therapy in the trust would be those people who have quite serious and complex mental health issues. So that would be schizophrenia, other forms of psychosis, quite serious depression and personality disorder.
Art therapy was something new for me. I've never heard of it. I knew from school time that I had, in my background in education, I had some lessons in art, but that's all about it. I never realized how effective or what kind of impact it can have.
Turbare
This is a model using the idea that I can learn to recover from my illness because other people have learned too.
You start taking control yourself, and it gives the power back to you because you're not a patient anymore. You're a student, which automatically takes you from somebody who's broken and needs to be doing this to get fixed to somebody who's chosen to do this.
In one word, recovery means to me fulfillment.
Regrowth. What recovery means to me? Living.
Discovery.
I'm afraid I've stretched it to 2 words. Unlimited acceptance.
Hope.
Recovery, without any doubt for me, means freedom.
Freedom.
There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. You can change your hair,
until I see the
your clothing, your address, your spouse, your church, your residence. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly.
When I'm looking through
there is
eyes
nothing as powerful as a changed mind.
When I'm
Disadvantaged people deserve the same kind of care and respect that our society gives to others. It says something about us when we care for disadvantaged people. I've had a very, very good feeling about serving. You get so much back when you serve.
I'm gonna look twice at you. Until I see the Christ in you.